Forming questions. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand the use of questions and answers. Change the order of the words in a given statement to form a question. Use the words do, did, or does to the beginning of a statement to form a question. Use question words such as why, what, where, who, when, and how to form questions. Write or identify a meaningful question for the given answer.
Good morning, Zizi. Hey, Fleck, would you like to have a glass of chocolate milk? Sure, thank you. Yum! It's delicious, Zizi. Who made this? I made it, Fleck, all by myself. How did you make this? Oh, it's very simple. I can show you how to make it tomorrow. Okay.
Did you listen to Zizi and Fleck's conversation carefully? If you did, you will notice that they used questions and answers while speaking. So, what are questions? A question is a sentence that asks something. We usually ask a question when we want to know something about someone or something. A question always begins with a capital letter and ends with a question mark. The following examples, what did Zizi eat? And does Fleck like cycling? Are questions since they ask something. We can also see that both these sentences start with a capital letter W and D and end with a question mark. When we ask a question, we get an answer. An answer is a statement that tells us something. It is a response or reply to a question. A statement always begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. For example, if we ask the question, who made the chocolate milk? We get the answer as Zizi made the chocolate milk. This answer is a statement. Such a statement always starts with a capital letter. Similarly, the answer to the question, what did Zizi eat? Can be, Zizi ate an apple. There are a number of ways of forming questions from the given statements. In the first method, a question can be formed by changing the order of the words in a statement. In such a case, the verb is placed before the subject in the sentence. For example, the statement Fleck is hungry needs to be changed into a question. By placing the verb is before the subject, Fleck, the order of the words in the sentence is changed to form a question. The question should end with a question mark. So now we get the question, is Fleck hungry? Similarly, the statement Zizi has eaten her breakfast can be changed into a question. The order of the words in this statement is changed by placing the verb has before the subject Zizi, and a question mark is added at the end to form the question, has Zizi eaten her breakfast? A statement can also be changed into a question by adding the words do, did, or does to the beginning of a sentence and changing the form of the verb. For example, Fleck drinks milk every morning. This statement can be changed into a question. Does Fleck drink milk every morning? Here, we add the word does to the beginning of the sentence, change the form of the verb drinks to drink, and add a question mark at the end. Let's look at another statement. Zizi sat by the window. This statement can be changed into a question. Did Zizi sit by the window? By adding the word did at the beginning, changing the verb sat to sit, and adding a question mark at the end. Let's look at one more example. I like chocolate milk. This statement can be changed to the question, do you like chocolate milk? Here, we add the word do at the beginning of the sentence and add a question mark at the end. The form of the verb like does not change here. There are some questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. Questions that have yes or no for answers are called yes or no questions. For example, did Zizi make the chocolate milk herself? This question can be answered by using the word yes at the beginning of the sentence and replacing the question mark with a full stop to form the statement, yes, Zizi made the chocolate milk herself. The form of the verb make changes to made. Another question could be, can Fleck make chocolate milk? This question can be answered by adding the word no at the beginning and replacing the question mark with a full stop. So, the answer is no. Fleck cannot make chocolate milk. The form of the verb make remains the same in this case. Statements can be changed into questions by using question words such as who, whose, what, which, where, when, and how. Question words are used to introduce a question. They are placed at the beginning of a question. Questions that begin with question words are called WH questions. Such questions need full answers. They cannot be answered in short as yes or no. let us understand the use of question words with the help of some examples. The question word who is used when we ask questions about people. For example, who ate the cookies? The question words what or which are used when we ask questions about things. For instance, what are you eating? Or which is your favorite drink? When is a question word used to ask questions about timing of events? An example is when are you going? Where is a question word used when we ask questions about places? For example, where are my shoes? The question word why is used to know about the reasons behind something. An example of such a question is, why are you late? The question word how can be used in different ways. We use how to find out more about people and things. For example, how does Fleck go to the park? We use how with adjectives. For instance, how cold is the milk? We use how with words like much and many. For example, how many cherries did you eat? How much does this cap cost? We also use how with adverbs. For example, how far is the park? How long did the party last? How often do you play tennis?
Cece, can I have another helping of this yummy chocolate milk, please? You've already had one whole glass. It is not good to have too much of anything. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this. Remember, we have to meet everyone at the park today and we are already late. Come on now. Yes, let's go. We have learnt a lot about questions and answers today. So let's quickly take a look at all the points we have learnt in the lesson forming questions. A question is a sentence that asks something. We usually ask a question when we want to know something about someone or something. A question always begins with a capital letter and ends with a question mark. An answer is a statement that tells us something. It is a response to a question. A statement always begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. We can form questions from statements by changing the order of the words in a sentence. In such cases, the verb is placed before the subject. We can also form questions by adding the words do, did, or does at the beginning of a sentence and changing the form of the verb. Questions that have yes or no for answers are called yes or no questions. Question words are used to introduce a question. They are placed at the beginning of a question. Questions that begin with question words are called WH questions. Such questions need full answers. They cannot be answered in short as yes or no. Examples: who, what, which, when, where and why. The question word how can be used in different ways. To find out more about people and things, example, how are you? With adjectives, example, how tall is this tree? With words like much and many, example, how many bags are you carrying? With adverbs, example, how quietly do you sleep?